All right, everybody. Filterless podcast here. This is number 10 in the books. So today, because it's our 10th episode and because we finally got somebody that had time to meet with us, we've got a guest. And my co-host is here, Dr. KK. And we also have Dr. AK in the house. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody. AK
So we actually have no script. We have nothing for this podcast.
Off the cuff.
We are just going to sit here and kind of talk about whatever's up and just go through it like that. So we're looking to have just a hour-long talk about whatever pops up. And I don't know if y'all want to jump into this because this has kind of been the hot topic of the day, which is the UAPs. I know me and KK love this stuff, but I'm not sure about you, Doctor. But we love this. We had a full hour and 10-minute podcast 3 weeks ago about it. And it's just crazy that now today they have basically come out and said that it is 100% true. We have spacecraft. We have actual biological aliens that we have had for a long time. And have y'all seen any of this stuff that's going on today?
I watched a little piece of that David Grush congressional hearing. I think it's cool. I think it's great that they're asking these questions. I'm annoyed with the whole thing, though, I was telling you guys, because as a OG alien believer, okay?
For sure.
I mean, and you guys don't understand how much making fun of I've been through being an OG alien believer. I mean, you guys
how'd
are
you
all,
even know? There was no proof.
No, because, honestly...
He was abducted.
No.
He got probed.
He got probed. He just didn't want to tell anybody.
No, guys. I think I just went down this. I was just scrolling through Netflix, and I think that that documentary called Unacknowledged just showed up, and I was like, well, let me just watch this crap. I've always had an interest in it, but it just took one documentary, and I was like, my gosh. And then the pyramids, I don't know. But
yeah, it was Joe Rogan for me,
Yeah.
because I got into Joe Rogan, and then all of a sudden, he's got all these guys on all the time that are UFO, conspiracy guys. Well, it's not a conspiracy anymore.
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so. I think this is the beginning of them telling us, hey, these things are real. We've had them a long time. We have the craft. The whole bodies thing I've been saying for years. And here's, what I ask most people, guys? I say, hey, do you believe in aliens? And it's always the same answer. Well, I don't think we're the only life form out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, probability-wise.
Yeah,
There's so many
yeah,
planets.
that's what
There's going
they
to be
say.
something else. Whether it's bacteria or little animals or intelligent creatures.
Something.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think Earth's been around for what, 13? Our universe has been around for 13.8
Well, they
billion
don't know.
years.
Who knows?
Roughly
You know what I'm saying?
13.8 billion
Yeah.
years. You're telling me in 13.8 billion years we're the only people that have figured this stuff out?
We've
come
had
on.
it. It was all real. Roswell was real. The recovered craft was real. Bob Lazar's telling the truth. All these people, we've been chasing them. They're in
I
everywhere.
can't wait to see what all comes out, though, because apparently what he said today was like, yeah, those sketchy photos and videos that y'all have, that is nothing. We have 4K, ultra this, ultra that. Like, we can see a gnat's ass on one of these things if we really want to.
Okay.
Because you got to think, where they're flying, we directly have satellites pointed at all of those places because they're Air Force places. And so all these grainy videos and stuff, it's like, wait. You're telling me that we can see like Putin standing on his balcony, from space, but we can't see an actual decent picture of one of these things? Yeah. I do have a question for y'all. Have y'all ever had a moment like in time to where you thought for a second maybe something was going on, like with you, like extraterrestrially?
No.
I haven't, not
No?
personally.
No.
I would probably be too skeptical about it anyways.
Yeah, I've always wanted to have something. Like I've always wanted to be the one that everybody was like, "Oh, you're crazy. You didn't see that." And I know, like, "Oh, I fucking saw it." Like I know I saw. I've always wanted to like have that interaction with them.
You wanted to be probed like Dr. KK.
I wanted all of it. Just give me all the smoke, baby. Come on, let's go.
But my thing is, okay, they got these. Why are aliens even flying around on our surface, anyways? If they can travel out here, and if we have satellites and we have telescopes, they don't need to just hover around our atmosphere.
I don't know why they don't just make themselves more apparent. Maybe they have orders from their higher ups
Well,
saying, hey, don't
see if you can
disrupt.
find this video, Scott. There is a video of a guy, and he's like, it looks like he's like in some kind of courtroom or something, and he's basically talking. What did they call it? They called it something. To where he's saying that we've actually gotten contacted by them, and our government has gotten So see about guy talks about aliens contacting our government 50 years ago, and so apparently what this guy was saying. I hope we can find this because this is an awesome video. I hope we can freaking find this. So it's going to be in a video file. See if you can find it. So basically what the guy is saying is he's saying that we were our government had been contacted by aliens, and they basically said, hey, look, we realized that we've noticed that the planet is on a path to complete destruction.
Yeah.
And we want to help. We want to make this not happen.
Yeah.
And our government, the government of the world, or our government, I don't remember exactly what it was. No, it's not this.
But how do they even communicate? Do they learn English?
He says everything, right? So he goes into it, and I
They
wish
speak English, bro.
I wish I could find it, but and this
aliens
might have been an
speak
older video too, Scott. I'm not 100%.
And why
sure.
did they choose the U.S. government to talk?
Because they know we're number one. U.S. is number one, baby. But that's not even true, though. Actually, they've contacted other governments too.
You would think, but they would have known enough to know the government would have kept it a secret. They should have broadcasted it publicly to everybody if they know all of our languages.
Yeah. No, I don't know. The
All
whole
right, I'm
thing-
going to see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Because I think it was
But
on-
it is true, Mike, what you're saying. Every time they leave a message for us, it's always one of like, hey, stop what you're doing. You're messing stuff up here. Like you guys are on the path to destruction.
Right. Yeah, it was basically something like that. And then what he said was that our government basically said, okay, our people, we're telling, they're like telling us our people aren't ready for this. Like they can't handle this. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it completely secret. And he's saying that people have been killed and all this kind of stuff because of it. But he said that what the agreement was, he has he's reading. Oh, here it is. All right, I'm going to send this to you, okay?
Yeah. Here's my question, though. Let's say that this stuff continues to catch steam because in modern day
just texted to
history,
you, Scott.
this is the most, I think, public affirmation that UFOs have ever gotten. Right now, we're living it right now.
100%.
Like now, it's like mainstream. Like, okay, KK is not crazy. He's been talking this for 15 years,
Whoa.
and now
You've
it's
been
like,
Just
vindicated.
not crazy about the UFO. You have to be very specific.
it's like, okay, maybe he knew what he was talking about because he was so passionate about it 15 years ago. Maybe he was right. And, part of me, I don't even like what's happening. I'm like, by the way, everyone has sent, you know how many texts and messages I'm getting about this alien stuff. That's how you know I'm an OG
you're the
alien
OG.
guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone's sending them to me. They're
They
like,
all owe you an apology.
Well, because they know anytime they hear it, that's what they think of. They're like, oh, well, yeah, Khaled was talking about that 10, 15 years ago.
We
That's
can never
funny.
doubt you again.
No, I just think it's cool. I think it's cool. But
But interesting, the
I sent it
government
to you as a
says,
TikTok. So
the government says they're not ready for it. I mean,
yeah,
that's
that's
great news, right? We would be inspired.
Well, that's
We'd stop fighting each other.
Well, maybe.
Oh, that's what. Do you hear what he just said? Isn't that what I said on the pod like
Yeah,
2
yeah,
weeks ago?
you did.
I said, how do we stop a war? Easy, land a UFO in between Russia and Ukraine. I guarantee you they'll stop shooting at each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said that
The
exact
problem
same
is
thing
they'll
2
start
weeks
shooting
ago.
at that thing, and then if that
Yeah,
thing
you
starts
said
shooting
that.
back, we got problems.
We'll run for the money.
But no, but that's the question I was going to ask you guys. I was like, what are the implications of this? How are people going to respond? Are we going to have like a freak out moment like COVID where people are going to like start,
I don't think so.
thinking
I think
it's the
been
end of the
such a slow
world?
trickle, right? I
Yeah.
think it's been like a super slow trickle for the last 24 months. Like if you noticed, like 24 months ago, it started kind of happening. Then we started calling them UAPs. That was
Yeah.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, oh, this came out. Oh, now Joe Rogan has this guy on. Oh,
Yeah.
now this guy's over here. And
sure.
all of a sudden, like it's part of our ether,
Yeah.
for the last 24 to 36 months. And then all of a sudden we have this pop up. You know what I talked about last time? It's just like, what are they trying to hide from us? Because they're throwing UFOs in front of us like this.
Distraction?
Yeah.
Tech-
So
well,
they
they're
can-
trying to hide technology, I think, right?
Yeah. Well,
because
they'll-
this is cutting edge. We still live in a world divided amongst continents and countries. If you hold that technology, you hold the upper hand.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And the U.S. has been holding that technology for a long time with the reverse engineering, supposedly, unless, assuming other countries.
All right, here it is. All right, listen to this. Well, hopefully it's not too long. And I have no context for this.
I'd like to read 2 pages from advice from the extraterrestrials.
So it's 2 minutes.
Yes, it's true that we have been in contact with your government and heads of power. It is also true that we have been in It is also true that agreements have been made and kept secret from your people. It is also true that in the past, some of your people have lost their lives or have been badly hurt to protect this secret. Our hands had no part in this. We contacted your leaders because your planet is in grave trouble. Your leaders said the vast majority of your population wasn't ready for anything like us yet. So we made time agreements with your leaders as to when your people would be made aware of our presence. Your air, your water are contaminated.
Mm-hmm.
Your forests, jungles, trees, and plant life are dying. There are several breaks in your food chain. You have an overwhelming amount of nuclear and biological weapons, which include nuclear and biological contamination. Your planet is overpopulated. Warning, it is almost to the point of being too late, unless your people act. There are better ways of deriving energy
Yeah, so pause it.
and food needs without causing
So,
your planet any
so this guy
damage.
goes on to talk
Those in
about,
power are
like all of the things that they are supposedly helping us with and have been helping us with for like the last 50 years or so. Now, how accurate is this? I have no idea. Like, I have no
It's
idea.
interesting.
But it's interesting that this, when was this posted? Does it say when?
Yeah,
June
it's
19th,
interesting.
2019? Yeah.
But it doesn't
So,
have
I
any
mean-
true insight. It just anybody could write
Yeah,
that,
it's
right?
No, I know anybody
if
can
you're
write that.
highly advanced and you could travel across the galaxy, not only would you be able to point out the problem, but you would have way more information. You could solve it like that.
Well, but have we just had this technology and then, people in industry and things like that say, hey, we can't like give them the whole thing. We're here, right? We're at zero with technology. They're giving us 2023 technology in 1980. We can't just jump across.
Well, I don't think
I don't
they
think we
could.
had the infrastructure in order to do it, right? So it would have taken that long. And if you honestly think about like when we started to see UFOs and things like that, when the internet became, able, and when it just appeared, through technology and things like that, all of these things happen after all of this. And look how fast our technology has like
Exponential.
100%. And there's a thing that Apple, I read this one time, and it says that and this was like in 2015, that they had already made the phones for like the next 10 years because what happens is the technology increases so quickly that they're like, well, we have to put this technology in first because we got to get our money back, even though we've already surpassed that in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And like he brought up the phone stuff because they've been talking about the hologram stuff for a long, long time. Like having a hologram on the phone. And every time an Apple comes out, they say, oh, they're going to do it. But they really haven't done it yet. But I think it's coming.
I think what it is, they have to get through their long laundry list of all of the other technology that they've created. And they, you know what they do? They create this and then they say, oh, now we're going to put a second camera on. When they could have put 12 cameras on the back of this from the very beginning if they wanted to. For sure. Because they had the technology. It's just they have to keep the capitalist thing going, which is fine, but
You know how much a original Apple phone in the Apple One in a box untouched went for in an auction?
how much?
Yeah, it went for like
How much was it?
200,000.
190K.
Yeah, 200,000.
Isn't that amazing?
And my dad, okay, who is the least technologically savvy person on earth for whatever reason, the way it just timed, he ended up getting like the first Apple phone. Like out of all my friends and family, my dad came home with the first Apple phone. He didn't know how to use any of it, but it was just so ironic that my dad was the first to have one.
All right, here's a good segue changer and a great opener. What was y'all's very first cell phones?
Oh, StarTech. Y'all remember that one?
No,
The
I don't
flip
remember that one.
Dang.
Remember that one? StarTech.
Oh, you remember that, Scott?
You remember that one? Yeah, the StarTech.
I didn't even know, but I thought I was
It was-
good. I had the Nokia 3360.
Oh, Oh,
The brick, yeah. Come on, with Snake.
Oh, he knows
That's
about
Yeah, I had
that.
Snake.
awesome, baby.
Okay, did you guys ever have the what's it called, BlackBerry? I never did.
Oh, yeah.
I did BlackBerry for a long
I
time.
Yeah, that
never
was game changing. You know, people used to make fun of me because I had a BlackBerry 7100T. And the phones nowadays are way bigger than that. They
Yeah.
used to, what's that big phone?
Yeah. Dude, I can remember like vividly. So my dad, owned this company. So we had Nextels.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You know,
the two-way radio.
the two-way
Yeah.
radio. So, but get this. So, I don't remember what position I'm in here. I was probably president of the company at the time, and I had found a vendor in Brazil, right? So I needed to go down there and check qualities, all that kind of stuff. So I flew down to Brazil, and I landed at the airport. I'm at the Rio airport, and I'm going through the airport, and I have my Nextel on me, right? And I hear the on my phone, and I'm like, what is going on? And so I grab my phone, and I'm like,
hello.
hello? And it's one of my employees in Houston
Wow.
doing the two-way radio portion, and I'm picking it up in Brazil.
Oh wow.
Like
wow.
it was like it's nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a cool
I-
feature. I'm
I
surprised
had-
it dropped off.
I had no idea that thing could go between continents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's weird. Yeah, because when you think about walkie-talkies, you think about it has to be within a certain.
Yeah, but I guess it's
It must
using the
have used internet
cell.
somehow,
It's
yeah.
using the cell data from back then. I mean, that was over 15 years ago. That was, 15 years ago.
I had the Star Tech, and then there was another popular one. The,
Sanyo.
no, what was it called? Oh gosh, it was so good. Razor.
Oh, that
my
Motorola
God,
Razor.
that-
Yeah.
Scott-
Razor.
That's when everybody was getting
Scott-
themselves.
That was the $700 phone
Scott's
too.
like, he knows what. See, I told you, Scott's special.
Yeah. That's
when
Scott
color
knows
screens
the
were coming
Razor.
into
The
that
Razor
market.
was a big deal.
Hey, do you know what else Scott can do? Watch this. Hey Scott, what day was it? What day of the week was it? January 12th, 1962.
No.
Thursday.
Okay, look it up. No.
You're supposed to say it with so much more conviction, Scott. And here's the thing. I know I've never done that with Scott before, but I was hoping that he was in on the joke. What day was it?
Wait. How does it? Wait. How? No. He
January
doesn't know
12th, 1963.
1962.
2.
Oh, please be a Thursday. Please be a Thursday. Please be a Thursday. Please be a Thursday. Please be a Thursday.
What day of the week?
If it's a freaking Thursday.
Friday.
Oh, he was so close. Oh,
So it was
you
just
had
a
a 1
guess.
in 7 chance, bro. You had a 1 in 7 chance.
Yeah, 1 in 7 chance.
Yeah, he's not that good. I was just messing with you.
Okay. Cool.
The first cell phone I had was a Nextel, but the first expensive phone I ever bought was the Razor. It was the Razor, and I bought it for my ex-wife when we were still dating, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Everybody
I think we
wanted
were,
the Razor.
I think we were, we might have been engaged at the time.
Did either of you have a pager?
Oh, yeah. I had a pager.
Did you ever have a pager?
My parents
My
got us
dad
pagers.
did, but
Yeah.
I didn't get one till I was a doctor.
Your dad's a doctor too, right?
He was, but he wasn't working clinically, but
Okay.
he had one. Yeah.
Yeah. AK's dad writes like books and stuff to help with other medical students for the MCAT and stuff like that. It's really
to
cool.
learn how
That's
to be a
cool.
doctor.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into the doctor thing then.
Yeah,
So, you're an emergency room physician.
That's right.
Explain to like you would explain to like a 13-year-old what that is.
Yeah, it's a doctor specialized in what goes on in the emergency department. So, traumatic emergencies, medical emergencies, we're the first person you see. So, we have to keep a very broad scope. It used to be, it wasn't a specialty. The local doctors would cover the ER. But what we found was it's very important to have somebody who's highly trained in just being in the ER. So, I think in the 70s, they created a special residency for emergency medicine training. I love it because I love the adrenaline. I love being there for people when they need me the most. And I also make a really handy friend everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been traveling and I've had to do some interventions.
Oh, dude, I have always wanted to be the guy on the plane where somebody's having a heart attack and they're like, "Is there a doctor here?" And I'll be like, "Yes."
You know, it's so dude, I don't even know how to put an IV in people.
You become so specialized, right?
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. I mean, I can put a giant tube in any vein, artery you have, but like a small IV, because we don't do them.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do that.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I figured it out, but it's like, I don't do it all the time. All right, AK, tell us what's the crazy thing you ever had to do outside of the ER?
I mean, one time I was on a cruise and we stopped in the Grand Cayman Islands and I'm renting a jet ski and having a good time. Long story short, it's time for me to go in and get back to the ship. And I see 2 jet skis out in the horizon and nobody's on it. So I'm like, okay, they fell off, no big deal. But every time I kept looking back, nobody would try to get on it. So I was like, this is not right. So I spun around and headed straight to it. And sure enough, on the other side of the jet skis, there's 2 guys in the water. One's completely unconscious, gasping for air, and another guy's trying to hold him up out of the water.
Oh God.
So anyways, it was a
How
crazy.
much time elapsed between the time that you initially saw the empty jet skis to when you saw the unconscious guy?
I gave him about a minute
Okay,
to try to
okay,
get back
all right,
on,
okay.
45 seconds to a minute, because by then you should try to get on your jet ski,
okay.
right? So I asked the other dude, I'm like, is he breathing? He said, barely. I said, let me get help because we got to get him up to shore. So I went back to the jet ski place. They came out with a jet ski and just like those boards you hold on to.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, this is never going to work. How
Yeah.
are you going to put a unconscious guy to a
Yeah,
board that's
exactly,
flipping around?
exactly.
I can't hold on, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking around it because we're a little deep. And I see a boat in the distance. So I haul ass with the jet ski to the boat. I flagged down the guy who's driving it. And I said, hey, we need your help. We got an unconscious guy in the water. He said, I'll follow you. Take him to the guy in the water. We drop the ladder. We like push him onto the boat. At that point, I'm like, man, this guy looks bad. I got to go with the boat. So I had my, at the time, ex-girlfriend on the back. I said, hey, you take this back, return it, you get on the ship, and I'll find a way back to you guys,
Oh,
whether I have to fly to the next
wow.
island or what.
Wow.
So I get on the boat, take off his life vest, and it's bad. Looks like they crashed. He went over the top, hit his ribs on the other jet ski, cracked multiple ribs. He's got flailed chest.
God.
So get on the boat. I tell the guy, take us to that resort that we see. It was kind of James Bond-esque because the captain of the boat just like beached it onto the sand, right?
Wow.
That's cool.
And I told, it was funny because the guy helping him, he said he was an ICU nurse. I said, okay, good. I'm an ER doctor. He goes, oh, thank God. So we get him off the shore. Sure enough, I warned the nurse. I said, look, he's got flailed chest. He's probably going into hypoxic arrest, meaning once you don't have enough oxygen, your heart stops. I said, we got to start CPR as soon as his heart stops, so we got to be on this pulse. Yeah. Sure enough, as soon as we got him to the shore, we start CPR. Now, interesting story, this crowd is gathering, and these 2 people come up, and they identified themselves as doctors. But this comes into a lot of people call themselves doctors, but they're not real doctors.
Right.
But when they travel, they go by this title. They might be PhDs or this or that because they want the respect, right? Yeah. So this was one of those stories where they were like pushed in front, like, you're a doctor, go help.
Not knowing that the ER doctors are over there
So-
working on them.
So I assumed they're physicians,
Yeah.
like medical doctors.
Yeah.
So while one nurse is doing CPR, I told them, like, oh, you guys are doctors? They looked a little confused. I said, what we have is a 30-year-old guy in a jet ski accident, multiple broken ribs. He's got flailed chest, I think hypoxic arrest, maybe hemopneumothorax. They don't know what I'm talking about. They have no idea. So the guy goes, well, looks like you got it under control.
That's exactly what I would have done too. You got this, doc.
Yeah, so you never know. I mean,
Dude, how lucky is that guy?
Well, what happened? What happened?
well, we ended up getting his pulse back. The ambulance finally came.
Yeah.
They took him to the trauma center. You know, I don't know what happened after that. I hope
Shit.
because we got return of spontaneous circulation, he does well after that.
Did you make it back to the cruise?
I did.
Okay.
I was able to make it back to the cruise. You know, it was such a bad situation because he was part of the cruise because I saw a family leaving with their suitcases.
Oh, no.
Right?
Did you say anything?
No, that was from afar. I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, it's that's why I love emergency medicine for me.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I want to be ready. It's actually why I did martial arts. It's why I learned weapons. It's why I don't do drugs. It's why I never drink. It's because it's this thing inside me. Like I have to be ready at all times.
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty cool,
AK's
man.
Ready. AK's ready, dude, for sure.
Yeah. So what hospital are you at?
So part-time shifts occasionally at St. Joseph's, but now I've gotten into business, so I own and operate my own freestanding emergency departments.
Oh, nice. What
So
are they called?
I have Post Oak ER on San Felipe and Post Oak. I have one in Jersey Village called Supreme Care, and then one down in Angleton.
Right next to my house, baby. I
Oh,
live
yeah.
in Jersey Village.
Hey, we come in handy. Anytime
Yeah.
you need us, we got you.
Yeah, that's great. I have a buddy of mine who's not a medical doctor that started opening those up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
he I don't know exactly how he did it. His name's Sean Gill. Shout out to Sean Gill. He's freaking crushing it. And he opened up a bunch of ER clinics. I think he's got 6 of them now, and does extremely well with it.
That's good. You know, a lot of them have come and gone because they forget about the most important thing, patient care.
Yeah. No, he's just a super guy, and I think his now wife might be a doctor. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, great guy. So speaking of not out of town when you have to do emergency stuff, what is the other cool stuff that happens to walk in the ER?
And you see some weird stuff. Okay, I mean, there's some gory stuff, but I'll keep that in my head because nobody should ever.
I was a firefighter for a decade.
Oh wow!
So I've seen all that stuff.
No,
but
you saw it when it was nasty. I get it when it's all packaged up by you guys.
Yeah.
Have
So,
you
have
ever-
you seen the gerbils yet?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, listen, I wasn't get into like ass stuff.
There's so much ass
no,
stuff.
No, I
You
wasn't.
started it with the alien.
Because I've seen like the X-rays and stuff like online where I've seen it.
Yeah.
Coke bottles and just all kinds of just disgusting,
Oh,
just
yeah.
nasty. But no, but this is cool because what's like now like a crazy story like in the ER itself where it was like. What I want to know is, were you in a situation where it was like really awkward, like where you had a family member and you were trying to get to the bottom of something, but the guy in the room wouldn't want to tell you the story,
Yeah.
something like that?
Oh yeah, it happens. But I've learned, like even on a regular day, if a young female comes in,
Yeah.
and she has vaginal problems,
Yeah.
I know she will never answer my question straight, like 50% of the time.
Right.
So I've got ways to ask it, or I send in a female nurse to ask it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a young guy
Yeah, for
with
sure.
long hair. I walk in.
For sure.
If I start saying, "Are you having any vaginal discharge or smell?"
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, "No."
Yeah.
No,
Everything's
Tell me
good.
that
Everything's
stuff.
great down
and
there.
you're like, you sure?
And sometimes people are embarrassed. Like this
Yeah.
dude came in, he put something in his bottom, in his
God.
rectum.
Oh,
He couldn't
God.
get it out.
Uh-huh.
And I go in the room and I say, "So what happened?" And he says, "Oh, well, I got out of the shower and I sat on the couch really fast and there's something up there." He wants me
That's
to
awesome,
believe the
bro.
story. So finally, I had to look at
That's
this guy.
awesome.
I looked at this guy and I
Hey,
said,
that happened to me last night. So
"It
I
happens,
just
right?"
sat on the couch
I'm
really
just-
fast. No, I sat
I'm
on
just
the.
saying,
Here,
I
hold
was
on.
able to get it out because I had a string on it, but still.
I sat on the couch naked, right? Because
Yeah.
everyone does that. Okay,
Get out
number
of the
one.
shower, you know.
Wet
And
right out
then
of the shower.
it just happened to be in the perfect anatomical position to where I just landed straight on it.
Right up there. So,
Did you ask him? I would have been like, my first question would have been like, well, did it feel good?
No, I looked at the guy and because I need to get the straight answer. If I go digging in there, it could be something sharp. It could cut me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh shit.
I said, look, sir, I'm your doctor today, right? He said, yeah. I said, and you want me to be a smart, competent doctor for you, right? He said, yeah. I go, well, I wouldn't be if I believed what you just told me.
Oh,
That's
nice. I like that. I
nice.
like
Right?
that.
I
like
said,
that.
I'm not here to judge you. I'm only here to help you.
Yeah.
So tell me exactly what happened. So he changed the story. I still think it was not true
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
said him and his girlfriend were getting freaky now,
Yeah.
and she put it up there.
Yeah.
I said, well, "Do you know what she put?" He said, "I don't know."
Okay.
So I was like, "I'm just gonna shoot an X-ray. I'll just figure it out myself."
And what did the X-ray show?
So the nurse was
Drum
with
roll.
me. We get out of the room, and she goes, "Dr. Kudrath, what do you think it is?" I said, "My hunch tells me a can." She's like, "A Coke can?" I said, "Maybe." She goes around taking bets. We shoot the X-ray. Sure enough, it's a cylindrical object, but it's not a Coke can because it has a spring and a nozzle on top, right? Well,
I like where this
thankfully,
is
I didn't have to deal with it. You know, these cans can really get stuck in the rectum and the bowel. So, general surgery was available. They could take their time with it, sedate the guy, pull it out. They texted me a picture. It was an Axe deodorant can. Fat ones too. I was impressed by the guy. He did a good job.
guy's doing it.
He was committed to that one.
I don't think I've ever met a gay guy that wears Axe.
Well, this guy wasn't gay. Well, he wasn't.
Wait,
well,
what?
His girlfriend did it, right?
Supposedly. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the world's a crazy place right now.
Crazy place,
But,
man.
you know, the one thing I do now, though, so like for me, like most embarrassing, not embarrassed, I really don't get embarrassed, to be honest. But the one thing that I do now that I didn't used to do is I don't assume the relationship of the people in the room. So a lot of times I'll have like a really old guy with like a really young, sometimes attractive, some not, times attractive, female. And I'll just be like, oh, that's your daughter or that's your granddaughter.
Nope.
It's like, no, that's my
Side piece.
wife or my girlfriend. And so it always created like this weird thing. And then one time it happened in the reverse. which I never would have expected.
Oh,
ever,
the
ever.
girl with the young guy?
An old lady
I like it.
with like a young dude.
So you said, is that your
like
mom?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so. I was like, oh, so like your mom about, and it was like, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, and you know, you could tell they got that a lot. So, so now I never ever assume the relationship. I always ask.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said,
One
what's
thing
the
I'm
relationship?
different now.
And then I always say, is it okay if I speak in front of them?
Yeah, well, to me, if they're in the room,
You assume so.
yeah, I mean, come on, I mean, good. I mean, do you have to ask? You know, really?
Well, I mean, if there was an Axe deodorant can up your ass, you
Yeah.
might want to.
So was the girlfriend around?
From the room?
No, he was by himself.
Okay.
No, but I had another guy came in with a girl.
Dude, that guy did not have a girlfriend. That was the lie. That was the lie.
You think she would have told him what it was?
That dude did not have a fucking girlfriend. Jesus. Y'all over here believing this guy. He sat on the couch and he has a girlfriend. Give me a break. God.
He's very gullible, okay? He takes everything at face value.
No, actually, I'm quite gullible. It's true. This whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, where was the girlfriend?
There was a girlfriend in his damn dreams. Yeah. Or maybe not. It was probably a guy in his dreams, actually.
Yeah, I mean, just when I think I've seen it all, I'm always surprised with something new.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what's the funniest thing? Like where you just were like, this is hilarious.
Oh man,
I mean, that one, the Axe deodorant is probably pretty close.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Good falling.
I wonder how his fart smelled.
No, really nice, probably.
what's their best scent?
Really nice.
I wonder if he did a crunch. If you could get a little.
I was like, why does this room smell so good?
Why does this room smell so good? I have no idea what I sat on. It smells like Axe body spray in here, though. Yeah. So, so you're into fast cars.
I do love cars, not just fast, but every car.
Oh, okay.
I've got classic cars. I've
Oh,
got
you got
old
classics.
school cars. Yeah,
What do you got?
man, I've got a '72 Chevelle, one of my favorites.
Oh, nice.
The '69 Mustang, like John Wick.
Yeah.
I've got a 1936 Mercedes 540K. So that looks like one of
that's
those
slick.
Duesenbergs,
Yeah,
rolling,
yeah,
swooping
yeah,
like
yeah.
curves. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's got some. He's got a 1957 Chevy Bel Air two-door hardtop.
Nice.
Scott, pull up AK's tank, please.
Oh, you got a tank?
He has a real tank.
I like
Yeah,
it.
it's,
Military
My kind of guy.
grade
Is it on your Insta?
tank. I hope so.
Yeah, I
Better
think
be
if
on
you go
there.
down a little bit more,
Let's find it. Let's find it.
right there.
No more.
That's Tarzan,
can do
by
the
the way.
second
Those
Oh,
are-
he's
those
also
are-
known as Tarzan.
Those are thirst traps, is what they are.
Yeah, right there in the second photo. So I think I love machines, right? This thing.
Dude,
If
click
you-
over
if-
one.
Yeah,
Click
if you
over
can
one.
click on the second photo, you can see a better view of it.
What?
So this
He
is
will
a
roll down
British-made
Houston.
Daimler MK2, nicknamed the Ferret because it was quite mobile. It can go up to 52 miles an hour, cruising speed at 40, 45. It's street legal because it's on wheels and not tracks. So I've driven it around Houston. I've pulled up to like the nice
I've
restaurants.
seen him at Toulouse
That's
in a tank.
awesome. So my question is that a solo mission whenever you're going out? Is there another seat in there?
There is a gunning position, right? But I usually go by myself.
Does that put the person that's in the gunner's
A little elevated.
stuff like right here while you're driving?
He's directly behind me and slightly elevated.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
I got you.
And then I'm down low in
And
the
the,
driver's position.
right below the 01DC33 is the lookout hole.
Yeah, I can
That's
open
the
that
driving
hatch.
hole?
I can drive by periscope. There's like a mirrored glass. Or I can drop that, which it definitely gets more airflow when you drop that. I'm installing a 360 camera so I can stay bulletproof and still see.
That's
when,
cool.
when you bought this thing, did you have to make improvements to it, or it came as is?
I had to get it working. So I bought it from a collector out in Sherman, Texas.
Yeah.
He had a lot of projects. He had a bunch of stuff going on in his life. He was ready to get rid of some. He couldn't get this to run. So I bought it, towed it down here, and a good friend of mine who's really smart at mechanics, he figured it out. It was just a simple short.
Wow.
So for
Oh,
like less than
nice.
$400, I got this tank.
Wow. And the
That's
dude probably thought it
crazy.
would take 4,000
Yeah,
to
he
fix
thought
it.
it was a full
can
power
you,
supply.
Can you actually buy any ammunition? Or are there firing pins in this?
So as a decommissioned military vehicle, I'm not allowed to have any mounted weaponry.
Oh, okay.
So that turret is just a mock turret.
But he can
Okay.
have concealed handgun carry.
Right, and then that's important, right? Not that I want to get into any crazy stuff, but I love learning how to use this stuff, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for
if you look
sure.
at Ukraine right now, right? My friend was inviting me to party out there 6 months before the Russian invasion. Now they wish they had armor. They wish they had guns.
Yeah, for
But even
real.
if you gave it to them, they don't know how to use it,
Yeah.
right? I like to use things because, one, it teaches me something. It teaches me technology, it teaches me mechanics, it teaches me some kind of physical skill and marksmanship. So I want to be able to drive that and shoot from it, but I'd have to go onto some open land where I can legally do it.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's slick.
And it's
So where do you keep them? Do you keep them here in Houston? Like
Yeah,
do you
I have a
like
warehouse.
place? Okay, cool. Yeah,
Because I can't fit it all at my house.
Yeah, I figured. That's really sweet.
parts
man.
are readily
that you
available.
I like that you like the old school stuff.
Actually,
Because you're a younger guy, and a lot of guys like you're. How old are you?
I'm 37 now.
Yeah, so you're a young guy.
Well, at first the exotics were really cool, and it has like this air of like, wow, you pull up in a Lambo. But honestly, that it's fast, it's fun, but the classics give
Look at that.
a much better driving experience.
No doubt. And then the Night Rider. Show them the Night Rider. My kids saw the Night Rider. They freaked out. He's got a Night Rider, like a real.
Oh, you do? Does it
Night
have the
Rider?
little?
Yeah.
nice.
It's got
Let's
everything.
Scroll down a little bit more. Right there.
Now, are these
He's
all,
got a
Are
kit.
these all like buy and hold or buy and flip, buy and sell? Do
Look at
you
that.
still
I
have
get it.
all of these?
I get attached to all my cars. so
Look at this.
I keep it.
You should
yeah.
have seen my kids. They freaked
Yeah,
out.
this car is fun. It's a whole experience. I put on 80s music and I feel like I'm David Hasselhoff ready
Hell
to
yeah.
fight crime.
Yeah. It's really cool.
And
That's
this one
really
really makes
slick.
people happy. Because especially if you grew up with the show,
Yeah.
it brings back some wonderful memories. This is the car that made a lot of guys car guys.
So is this a movie prop car, or is this just someone that decided to make one that was very similar?
So the person I bought it from said it was one of 20 used on the show. It was in bad condition. I restored a lot of stuff. But I just fell in love with it. I have no way to verify that.
But I'm sure it was. I mean, who the hell's gonna?
Well, you'd be surprised, dude, because big shows like that, especially iconic cars, it happens a lot. I've seen a lot of the Back to the Future cars that are supposedly, and
Originals,
it's
yeah.
like they already know where all of those originals are. Like they know because I actually researched it, and they have proof of where they're at. Jay Leno has 2 of them, I think.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, my dad is into cars, and if you want to see, do you know Chuck Hansen here in town?
Not yet.
He's probably got now the largest private collection since the attorney passed away. And Leno actually bought a lot of his cars, but Chuck actually bought a lot of his cars too. We could go have a day over there, dude. Like he's got
Dude,
a
I'd love to.
75,000 square foot warehouse, and it is packed.
Man, he's going to give me too many ideas.
Yeah, packed, dude. It is unbelievable. And Chuck owns a company called I forget. He doesn't need a plug. He makes so much money. Doesn't matter. He does copiers and printers for every hospital. So at all of y'all's hospitals, the copiers and printers that y'all use, Seamless Solutions. Seamless Solutions. Just look on the copier next time, and you'll see 2 S's on it. Seamless Solutions. That's Chuck. He's got like method. I mean, he's got everybody.
The
cool.
the car stuff's been pretty cool. I mean, AK's been deep in this car stuff for a while, and then I got just more affiliated with these guys through Marlin, through through the DME tuning stuff. You're familiar with what a tune is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this tuning stuff, then all the car guys, and then Gideon, and then Cave, and then all these other guys, and we kind of, it's a cool hobby. Honestly, it is, and it's something that I never, ever appreciated growing up was cars.
Yeah.
But then as I've gotten older, I'm like, no, I appreciate this stuff. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I can see you in my 67 Mustang. Once I get that up and running again, we're going to cruise. I'll jump in the 72 Chevelle, you
let's
jump
do
in
it.
that.
Let's do it. Let's
We
take
got
a
one for
cruise.
you too.
We take cruise, and there's all these car shows around town. You like Danny, shout out Team Savage. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
At the remember that thing we did at the Post.
Yeah.
At Post,
that was a big
when
event, yeah.
Post first opened, we had a car show. AK won first place.
Oh, that's
What
cool.
was it? The Lambo?
That was the Roadster.
Yeah.
Murcielago.
Yeah.
Those are getting more rare.
That was
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. It was really
Well,
really
didn't
cool.
a lot of those? Didn't they total a bunch of them in movies, and that's one of the reasons why they're getting a lot more
Yeah,
rare.
people are crashing them all the time.
Yeah,
they're
but like
powerful cars.
specifically, like they crashed like 6 of them in one movie or something like that. That's crazy. Just crash 6 cars for no reason. I mean, I guess it's for a Mission Impossible movie or something like that, but still,
Yeah,
that's
they
crazy.
can get away with it.
I've never even seen a single Fast and Furious. Do you guys watch this stuff? I've
Yeah, the
never.
first one. I saw the
You've
first
seen
one.
the?
You know
have
what's
watched them?
crazy? I watched like the first 2, and then I went like for 6 that I didn't watch.
Yeah.
But the first one that what's the the British guy, the bald head British guy.
Jason Statham.
Yeah. So the one that he got once he got into it, he's like one of my favorite action stars. So then I started watching.
He's from the Transporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his
He
original.
is the transporter.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's the
He
only
did good for
transporter.
a bald guy. Like, but between him,
Yeah.
I mean,
Diesel.
because he's not like a bald guy like The Rock, or he's a bald guy where you can literally see
Yeah,
like,
he does me.
yeah. I mean,
Look at that.
no, you're not bald. No, you're not bald. You got good hair, dude. You know what I'm saying? That like he's like if he grew it out, you would see the
Yeah,
actual,
for sure,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
So I'm saying he did good. For
He's
that.
a great like I like all of his stuff, and there's a new Meg movie coming out. Have you seen this, dude? It's the stupidest movie ever. I love them.
The Meg, like the shark one.
Yeah. The Megalodon.
I
Is
saw
this
the
third
original
one?
Meg.
Is this the third one or the second one? This is the second
Me
one.
and my kids watched the original.
So there's
Meg.
another one, and it's an even bigger shark.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about.
Are we gonna watch Barbie at all? Are we even gonna talk about Barbie? Is this a thing for
No,
us?
I mean,
Are we not?
I'm not gonna watch it. I mean,
Shouldn't we watch it just for podcast sake?
I mean,
Just
isn't there controversy? I mean,
Yeah, there's
I tell you what,
controversy.
here's-
Hell yeah, there's controversy.
here's what we'll do, KK.
Let's
I'll-
watch it together.
I'll get you the Barbie
Can we wear
movie.
pink?
I'll get you,
Yeah,
I'll get
he's
you,
wearing pink right now.
I'll get you the Barbie movie, and I'll buy you a can of Axe deodorant spray.
I think we should all go watch it together.
Let's do it.
Let's go to like the River Oaks district. We'll go to Toulouse or Mad or whatever. We'll have some drinks.
Well, we're gonna
cocktail,
definitely need
and
some
then
drinks.
we'll go, or we can go to iPick and then we can just watch it.
Yeah,
and then
I'm
we can
down.
analyze it.
And I still got to watch, what's the other one? Oppenheimer.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do want to
yeah,
watch
yeah,
Oppenheimer.
we gotta watch
I do want
Oppenheimer.
to watch Oppenheimer.
So Oppenheimer is the
Nuclear
atomic.
bomb.
So that's
Yeah.
was he a Nazi? Did we steal him too? Was he a Nazi? We
I
stole
don't
him?
know, I don't know if that part of it is even in the movie or not. I have no
But
idea.
was he was a German, right? He was a
Yeah.
Nazi?
That's why it's called
Because it's like that Werner von Braun guy. That's the guy that helped us get to the moon. He
Right.
was a Nazi.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, German scientist.
yeah.
I
German
guess he
scientist.
worked.
He was-
assisted them. Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm not saying he chose to be a Nazi, but he was under Nazi.
Okay, he came
The
from that.
regime.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, back
You know,
then.
a lot of those guys and a lot of those scientists and things like that, it was you either do this or we kill
That's what
you
I'm
and your
saying. That's what
family.
I'm saying. Yeah,
So it's
you
like,
have no choice.
Did a lot of these people do horrible things? But yeah, how much would you do if your daughter had a
100%.
gun to her head?
100%.
You know what I mean?
I say that all the time.
Yeah. If somebody walked up to you and said, "Hey, Dr. KK, we would like for you to kill that person or your daughter dies," it would take me about a nanosecond.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I mean, that's how quick it
no.
would be.
When people
That guy would be
when
dead.
people threaten you to that degree, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. You're just going to succumb to that pressure to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's
But why the hell is Lizzo in it?
Lizzo's in Oppenheimer,
Isn't Lizzo in Oppenheimer?
or is it just a song of hers?
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. Too
like
much
she got an acting
Instagram. I don't know
career
what the
now?
hell's going on with that. I don't know. Something about Lizzo Oppenheimer. I have no
Did you
idea.
see this thing the other day where somebody said something like, I need a Lizzo-sized snack or a Lizzo-sized meal or something like that, and got completely destroyed and like
That is a
canceled
little mean.
by saying it?
What? Because she's
That's a little
fat?
personal. Yeah.
Well, but she comes out and says she's fat, like she says it.
Yeah.
Like
so she
she's-
can say what other people
Like she's
can't say.
she's what do they call it when you're fat? You know, like
plus size.
Plus size.
No,
yeah.
but like you're proud about it. You know, like
body positivity.
Yeah, body. You know, she's body positive about her fatness.
We talked about that on the pod too. About neither me or me and Mike. Right now, Mike's in great shape. I'm in reasonable shape. You're in great shape. We all work out. Okay, AK works out a lifetime too.
obviously.
Okay, and me and Mike were talking about as former fluffy people because we are both very formerly fluffy. That we're not okay with the praising of body positivity in
Yeah.
today's world. And to be honest, most of the praising of the body positivity comes from people who are fit themselves. You know, you never really hear someone who is on the plus side of the spectrum saying, you know, yes, you look great, keep going.
To other people,
Yeah.
a lot of them will do it to
Right,
themselves.
right.
You know, like self worth
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
But
not to other.
even when I was 330 pounds, like I never did that. Like
Yeah.
I never was proud to be 330 pounds.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that's probably 99.9% of the, morbidly obese people in this country. I don't think they're proud of it at all.
How important is this sort of routine, healthy lifestyle to you, and how does it make you feel in terms of your mental health? Tell us about that.
Oh, I mean, it's a big part of my life, right? I mean, like we said, I fancy myself somebody to be ready for action should anybody need my help. So maybe it's like a silly 12-year-old thinking, but I'm like, okay, what does a superhero need to do? He's got to stay fit. He's got to stay ready. He's got to stay trained.
For sure.
So a big part of my identity is fitness, not just lifting weights, but I practice jumping up to ledges to make sure I could jump.
You should see him at Lifetime. He does weird shit.
That's cool.
But he's AK's cool. You know, like he's like I'm not gonna make fun of him. You know what I'm saying? But if he wasn't my friend and I saw someone
what
else,
is this guy doing
I'd
over
be like,
there?
why is this man
Hanging upside
from?
down.
Yeah,
Hanging upside down doing sit-ups.
You're supposed to make fun of your friends, though.
No, because AK makes everything look cool, man. It's like I'm not gonna knock him.
If you do that shit in front of me, I will make fun of you.
Hey, but not just fitness, but we talk about dieting too, right? Like I've been doing stuff like extended fasting, where I go 5 days without eating.
Tell us about this.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
No.
How is that?
5 days
And
with
how-
just water.
How does that work with your work?
I feel great.
Really?
I feel wonderful.
Now,
So-
do you do anything post fast? Like, do you do like any high fat foods before or anything like that that kind of keeps your body?
5 days is not that long. I mean, honestly, I got enough fat to go 30 days without eating. To be honest, right? You'd be surprised how far we can go without food.
I agree with that.
But when by the end of 5 days, I usually just kind of wake up my stomach because remember it hasn't done nothing in 4 days or so. So I'll eat like a soup, like a Vietnamese soup, like a brothy soup. That kind of wakes it up a little bit, right?
Get some pho.
But I feel great. But if you asked me a year ago that if I'd be doing this, well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I get hungry every 3-4 hours, right?
Yeah.
So when I started I read about it, and there's so many health benefits. And I started doing a 24-hour fast. Okay, just water and black coffee. And then a couple weeks later, I did a 48-hour fast. I hated it. I didn't want to do it again. It took me months to finally say, you know what? I keep hearing that the third day is better. Let me do it. I did it. I woke up the first 48 hours were way easy. 48 hours, way easier when I did it again. The third day, I woke up feeling like $1 million.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm working out every day. I'm doing weight training. I'm doing cardio. I'm gaining muscle because growth hormone goes up by day 2.
Remember, I told you that cardiologist was talking about growth hormone going up like thousands and thousands of percentages.
Yeah.
So I mean, what he's saying has been like, I don't know if he's the one that sent it to me, but it's like
it's
real
nature.
thing.
Nature
Yeah.
says, hey, buddy, you suck. You didn't catch any food. I
gotta
can't let
give you
you
a little.
die. So let me activate the posterior pituitary gland to dump a bunch of growth hormone to prevent muscle wasting, help your neurons so you can fight better.
So now, have you done a lot of research on this? Is that how you know this?
Yeah, a lot of research and then experimenting on myself the first time I did it. Realizing I felt great, gaining muscle while not eating for days on end, right? I'm still feeling sharp. I'm on the news. I'm doing this. I'm working.
Really?
You just have to get over that hump. And
So I go 18-6 every day.
that's really good too.
Yeah. So I 18-6 every day. I don't eat my first meal till 3 o'clock, and I eat my last. I'll have and I carnivore only, so meat only for the last month. So the whole month of July, I went carnivore only.
When you say
and
carnivore
16-8.
only, what do you mean?
You have to get some veggies in there too, right?
Zero veggies. No fruit, no veggies, no nothing.
Well, fruit's a lot of sugar, but you probably should get some
all
fiber
you
in there.
eat is meat?
Meat. But I make sure that I eat all of it. All the fat, all the tendon, everything.
No bread, no
nothing.
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 You're only eating
And I
meat?
haven't eaten it in over 3 weeks. And I feel amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were doing. Why didn't you tell me?
I
You're
do a
doing
lot of
that?
meat.
Yeah. I just started in July, and I so what happened is like in late May, I had a trip like coming up in like 2.5 weeks to the beach, and I was like, man, I try to keep myself at about 15% body fat pretty much year round. But when I go on vacation, I like to get down closer to 10, because I like to see the abs. And did you just go limp over there? Did you catch that? Oh, you didn't catch it. You got the screw on the right. Yeah. So I did it for a week. So I went strict carnivore for a week. But I have gout, so I have to be really careful, right? So what I have to do is I have to drink constant amounts of water, and I mean like so much water.
You know who's big on carnivore is Jordan Peterson's daughter.
Yeah, all
You
the
know about
Petersons,
that? Yeah,
all of the
yeah,
Petersons are.
yeah.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, I my inflammation almost overnight goes down. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean,
just in my face,
But
even
this
too.
is it's a little crazy that you're doing only meat.
Only meat.
What do you think he's missing?
I
Now I still do my AG1.
Don't you need like fiber?
I
and
still
stuff?
do my AG1.
Oh, okay,
I
okay, okay.
I do
So-
two
okay. So he's
two bottles of AG1 every day. So that gives me all my vitamins, nutrients, and all that kind of stuff. So I do one in the morning and one before bed.
You know what's so crazy about this whole like nutrition diet thing? You're sitting here with two doctors. They nobody knows the truth. We don't know.
We're still learning about a lot of
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
nobody knows.
And
man.
I think it's one of those things. And as doctors, I know y'all know this. Every person's different. Like I
Exactly.
think you have to just figure out what works best for you and your body and how you feel. But you also have to do all of the stuff. Like I went and had my blood work done last week because I was on my 3rd week, and I was like, you know what? I want to see where all my stuff's at. I want to see where all my testosterone levels are at, all of my everything. And so I should get my results tomorrow. So so yeah, I always make sure that I'm taking care of my insides just as much as I like my outsides to look.
My biggest thing is I think we did way too much in terms of the processed foods. And a lot of you guys don't understand. Every time I have someone who's had a heart attack or have had stents put in, it's always a question of, oh, what do I eat? What do I do? What do I eat? What do I do? And it's like a constant. And I don't know exactly what to tell them. Basically what I usually tell them is, look, what I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be able to do anyway, but I'll tell you. I said, the best thing for you is more than likely, in my opinion, a whole food diet where you have the nice balance of, I'm not saying do plant-based, but be as organic as possible. I think the chemicals is what's killing us. That's what I think.
Well, I think that when I was 335 pounds, I had no idea about any of this stuff. And so I went to a nutritionist and I sat down with her. And the first thing she told me is she said, stop shopping in the interior of the grocery store.
Yeah, outside, yeah, for sure.
Only shop on the outside because that's where they plumb the water. That's where they plumb all of the cold stuff. And so that's where all of your real food comes from. I think that if one thing that the United States could do would be just have people eat real food.
Did you
And what
guys-
I mean by that is like meat, potatoes, onions, fruits, vegetables.
Oh, well-
And we should get rid of dairy. Humans after the age of like 4 years old should not be eating dairy. We
I see it
can't
like a
process
dessert.
it.
It's not gonna.
Yeah,
kill you,
Exactly.
but
It's a dessert. You can treat yourself, but you shouldn't be eating cheese, sour cream, milk, creamer in your coffee every day. Like these things, they're bad for
I
you.
went back and forth on dairy personally. I used to think just like you, and I was like, it's a baby calf growth food, and there's no reason for a human to be consuming it.
Right.
But I don't know, man. There's a whole like sort of industry and a push for dairy that it's like not that bad for you. I don't know. That's the
It's got some
problem. We don't
vitamins, it's
know-
got
yeah,
some
we don't
calcium.
know.
Yeah,
But you
we
can get it elsewhere.
We get all of that stuff.
You can get
if
it
we eat
elsewhere.
whole foods, we get all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like tendons in meat and fat in meat. That stuff has all of that in it.
Okay, right now I'm on a mission. I'm gonna get bulked up. You guys are hearing it here first. It's July 2023. Give me 6 months. You're gonna see how bulky I get. I have to consume a lot of protein. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm scared that all this protein shit is bad for me. Like all the,
so.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking like all the shakes and stuff.
Well,
get it from
so
meat.
I would
get
eat
it
meat.
naturally.
Right,
Eat
okay, that's
meat.
what I'm saying. Yeah, naturally is one thing.
Yeah.
But I'm
I don't
kind
do
of
shakes anymore.
I don't eat meat either.
you don't do any
But I
shakes
eat
at
it
all.
all the
neither.
time. The shakes are too like refined. It's
That's
too,
what I'm
it's
saying.
like
You know what's funny?
powderized protein.
Ask Scott. I would do a shake every day at lunch. That would be my lunch. Every single day at lunch, I'd do a shake. It was a peanut butter, banana, and
Yeah,
protein shake.
yeah.
2 scoops of protein. That would be my lunch every day. Dude, I stopped doing that, and my gut health went through the roof better.
Were you feeling bad, or you just did it because you were like, I don't want it anymore?
I wouldn't say I was feeling bad, but I didn't know what it was like to not do it because I had done it I had been drinking those shakes for forever.
That you're right.
You know, because I'm like, well, I'm gonna go work out tonight. I'll drink a shake. You know, like at 1 o'clock. You know, for my lunch, I'll go work out at 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Get to the house and eat some dinner, and that was my meal. Those were my meals for the day.
Yeah.
The minute I cut out the shakes, my gut health went through the
What-
roof.
what-
Like
what-
I can tell my digestive system's up.
What
all
I
of them.
did, I stopped doing the Premier protein. I stopped doing the pre-formed shakes. And I said, okay, if I'm going to do a shake, I'm going to make it myself. You know,
Yeah.
I think for whatever reason, I felt like, okay, me doing it with the powder, is a little healthier than having all that preformed stuff. Because I think in order to keep the preformed stuff good, they have to put like all these preservatives and stuff in it to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my thought process.
I just barbecue a bunch of chicken at the beginning of the week.
See?
That sounds good. That
Prep.
sounds good.
Yeah.
And
prep.
even if I got to cheat it and get that pre-cooked hamburger patty, and
Hey man, it's
toss it in the
better than
microwave.
that protein shake. I guarantee.
You guys
that.
know I was a vegan for 6 months.
Oh, that's.
And then I was a vegetarian for another 6 months, and then I was pescatarian for like 6 years, guys.
Is that where you don't eat something if it's in the shade or something like that?
No, I had no meat.
No meat.
No meat for 6 years.
Bro.
I did that.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
It felt great. It
I
felt
honestly can't even. When I look back and think about it, I'm like, shit. How'd you do that?
How was your
man?
health during all of that?
Well, that's a great question. When I decided to make that change, I was less weight than I am now. I was in like really, really. I would say, I wasn't as fit as I was, as muscular as I am now,
were
but
thinner.
I was thinner, right? So when I made the change, I was good. And I did it more, I don't know, more like on a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like I wasn't like a hippie, but I was like, maybe we weren't designed to be so like when you think about like a dinosaur, right? You got the T-Rex. He's very angry.
Yep.
He's an angry animal.
Yep.
He's always trying to kill somebody, right? Then you got the nice brontosaurus. He's very nice. He's chill. He's nice. He's big.
Yep.
He's just chilling in the trees. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
And so I was like, maybe there's something to being veggie that's better for your soul. You know?
I can understand that
Yeah.
argument
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But there's that old adage that we've always heard, and it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same thing, I think, with what you eat, right? Like if you're only eating veggies and all of this kind of stuff, and you're trying to have a mental health effect on lowering your testosterone or something like that, we're men. We need it. We need that.
Yeah, I think so.
That test. We need.
I'm never
that.
going to go back.
Yeah,
I'm never
I
going
don't think it's good for people. I obviously, and I have gout, right? So I didn't eat red meat for 8 years. No red meat for 8 years.
Where your people come from? Where I need to. I want to know what
Not
what is your genetic makeup? Because I actually had a discussion about this the other day.
Irish.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So
Where do you hail from?
So I'm Guyanese. My parents are from the country of Guyana. Their parents are from Guyana. But the DNA, to answer that specific question, which I did the test, I mean, it's kind of boring. I'm a purebred, but 98.5% of my DNA comes from South Asia, which is the Indian
yeah,
subcontinent.
exactly.
So
You're Indian.
So you're
So it's
you're a
Indian
descendant
DNA.
of
You're-
Genghis Khan.
Indian? No. He's
There is
Indian.
1% Chinese. I mean,
AK is Indian, but you're okay.
my
your,
DNA is Indian. Right?
Your parents were both born in Guyana.
Yes, and their
Okay,
parents.
And where is Guyana? Educate us.
Guyana is on the northern coast of South America, next to Venezuela and above Brazil.
Okay, so I would say this
it's
is
South
almost
American.
similar. Yeah, so this
Exactly.
is almost similar to like Trinidad.
Trinidad, exactly.
Right. So
It's almost the same
Trinidad,
culture.
Trinidad
there
Tobago.
is
yeah.
a ton of Indian people in Trinidad.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they kind of mixed together. That's why a lot of the people from Trinidad look Indian.
Of course, it's Indian blood, but with a Caribbean culture.
Okay, and so your parents were both born in Guyana.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, cool. All right. So, but none of them were vegetarian or anything like that.
They were not.
No. Okay.
A lot
But
of
that is
lot of
popular in
seafood,
India.
right?
Yeah.
A lot
for
of
sure,
seafood,
for sure.
shellfish.
I
Is
mean,
it
we-
a coastal?
We
is
eat it all
coastal?
except for pork, really. You know?
Oh, no pork.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's religious,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Oh,
for
okay.
sure.
Raised in a
No pork.
Muslim
Yeah, for
household,
sure,
so
for sure.
I gotcha.
pork was not.
I got a lot of Muslim friends, and they'll drink and gamble, but no pork.
Well, that's
That's
the
where they draw the
easiest
line,
one.
right?
That's the easiest one.
it's the craziest thing on earth. They'll do everything, but pork. Whoa.
Hey, you know what?
No pork.
Put a piece of candied bacon in front of them. See what
They won't
see
do
what
it. I'm
they
telling you, it's like they have to do something. I mean, it's but
I think it's
funny
old
about-
habits die hard.
Yeah,
when you were
for
raised
sure.
in childhood
For
like
sure.
that,
I agree.
You create barriers in your mind.
Yeah.
If you cross one barrier, but the
Well,
other
especially
one
with
still
religion,
exists.
right? Because you were taught as a child that that's an unclean animal.
I actually
That's the
wasn't.
Really?
No,
It
I actually
was-
don't believe that
Oh, okay.
because I was just told not to eat pork by the religious text, right? But it doesn't say pig is a dirty animal. It doesn't say that. So I think humans put their own reasoning.
Yeah.
It could just be a matter of like it's delicious and great, but I want to teach you self-control.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not up to
Well,
me
and
to put words into God's mouth.
Yeah, I have a very we were both raised in a Christian household, and over the last probably 3 years, where I've actually started to do some research and actually started to like be open-minded about some things, because Christianity as a whole, it's just a cult. I mean, it's just a huge one. If you really look at it, it's basically a cult. But it's a huge one, and I do think that there's a lot of truth inside of it too. I think the parables and all of these stories and stuff like that, I think there's a level of truth to a lot of it. But I think what religion more than likely is our opinions about what morality should be.
Yeah, it's all about good
Right.
and evil.
So I think that if you really break it down into small fragments, and I think things like that, things like don't eat pork, not for any other reason other than just don't eat pork.
Yeah.
You need to have something in your life that you just can't have, even if you want it, because it teaches self-discipline, it teaches self-control, it teaches you that you can do things even if they are a little bit harder. You can still overcome things.
Yeah, it's
I
very
think
important.
I think that a lot of religion is that. It's more that than it is.
Think about the relationship to like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
What did God tell them? He said, "You can do whatever you want. Just do not eat
that
from
apple.
that
Yeah.
particular
That
fruit."
tree,
Right?
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what he told them.
It's not poisonous. It's not
Yeah.
anything. You just
He
can't
said
have
you
it. As long as
cannot
you
do
do
that.
that, as long as
Right.
you show that amount of self-discipline,
Right.
that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's that much self-discipline. That's all you need. And you can stay in this
And,
forever.
and think of Lent or religious fasting. It's not that food is bad for you.
Right.
It's to teach you control.
Yep. I
All
agree.
right, we are running out of time. I need for AK to talk about Reset. I want to know a
Yeah.
little bit
Oh,
about
yeah,
Reset and
Is this
pull
it
up.
right here?
He pulled up Reset. AK, tell
Yeah.
us. AK, tell us exactly.
So I want to know your thought behind this,
Yeah.
how you got it started, and where it's at, and all about it.
Yeah, Reset is a rooftop bar in Midtown, right across from Glorious.
It's not a bar. It's a club.
I mean, it's kind of a club at night,
It's
right?
a lounge.
But we have multiple styles, right? You can come during happy hour, and I see professional meetings. Friday night, Saturday night, we turn up. I've got a premium sound system by Void, cool lights, dance floor, sections. So people always ask, AK, why did you open a bar? You're a doctor, you own medical facilities, right? You don't even drink, right?
yeah, he doesn't drink. It's
I
true.
said, because it's not about that. It's about being a host
Yeah.
in one of the greatest city in our country, Houston, Texas, right?
There we go.
I like people to come to my house. I'm gonna make them feel comfortable, but I can only hold so many people. But at Reset, already I've had so many incredible events. I see people having a good time. I met the mayor because he was there for a political campaign, right? We still keep in communication. People's had birthday parties. I've got a wiener dog birthday coming up. I think it's gonna be so cool. I mean, they're
That's
going
cool.
all out. Event planner, catered food on the patio, right? So, and we have a very unique look. One of the few places with a view of the downtown skyline.
Yeah, open it
sure,
up, and
for
we'll
sure.
go through some of these pictures.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the skyline in the
my
background.
gosh, dude,
People
look at
walk in
that.
and they say, I don't feel like I'm in Houston anymore.
Yeah. No, I can tell you.
And what days are you open? What are your hours?
Oh, yeah, we're open Wednesday through Sunday, starting at 4 p.m.
No, and so AK invited me before it was even fully built out, and I got a chance to see it, and I can't tell you, I can't be more proud of him. I mean, he's
And
done
hookahs, I
a
like
fantastic
that.
job. No, the patio's beautiful, the inside's beautiful.
How long has this been open?
It's been like,
Officially, like maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
I normally
been
go to these new places.
No, it
like
has been fantastic, in a very, very prime location in Midtown. And we're bringing action back to Midtown. You remember when we were kids? Midtown used to be the spot.
Oh yeah,
I mean, if you went out in Houston, you were going to
Midtown.
Midtown.
That was the spot.
And then it kind of just fizzled out
I think
for
when
whatever reason.
downtown, when all the big businesses in downtown kind of pulled
Yeah.
out, Midtown kind of went.
So I think now,
yeah, it's
Midtown's
definitely
coming
coming
back, and then AK did a fantastic job with this place. And again, I couldn't be more proud
that's
of him.
great, man. Do
So
you have
we
any?
need-
Is this your spot? Do you have partners? Is
I'm
this,
the 100% owner of it. Of course,
Awesome.
I brought in people to help because I'm new to this industry.
yeah.
But
So
it's
you've got
been a
some good employees and some good people.
at first, you don't know who to hire because
Right.
everyone can sell you on themselves, but you don't know how to really evaluate them. But as you learn from a little bit of missteps, then you start gaining insight, then you can hire people much more effectively.
So I have a question about that, and I don't mean to pop off on this because, but we got a few more minutes. How was it transitioning from being a doctor to an entrepreneur?
It's tricky, but I think it was always in my veins because I always had this mindset. The reason why a lot of doctors don't make good entrepreneurs is because one is they're too trusting, and then they get screwed in a deal, and then they're too scared to try anything else. And 2 is they're really intelligent, and sometimes they think that intelligence transfers to everywhere. It doesn't work like that. If you're a good basketball player, it doesn't mean you're going to be a good golfer. Yeah. So you have to approach entrepreneurship with what's called a beginner's heart, and know that you don't know anything, and you got to learn from scratch, and you got to just put in a lot of time and not have an ego and admit when something's not working, even if it's your bad idea.
Yep, that's great. That's a great, and that's a great policy for life, bro. Mm-hmm. We don't know everything, and the minute we start thinking that we even are close to that, we end up screwing ourselves.
The other thing I can tell you about AK, because I've known him for a long time now, he surrounds himself with really good people, and that if he's trying to do something or if he's trying to achieve a goal, he has the right people around him to help with that concept. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. Surrounding yourself with the right circle, with the right people. And it's all about networking. And, you know, AK's done a great job with that for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, I appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, because, you know, the medical stuff I know well. I could be the point man. But when you get into a new industry, it's your network and your relationships. People have to believe in you. Believe that when you promise something, it's going to happen, so that they will actually join your team.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, brother, I really appreciate you coming by, being our very, very, very first guest.
An honor.
I'm so happy to have met you, and hopefully we can continue to talk outside of this and maybe do some fun stuff together with all 3 of us and become the 3 amigos.
That's right. That's right.
I'm looking forward to that.
We appreciate everybody stopping by. We're going to put all of Dr. AK's links below. So if you want to check him out, check his new spot Reset, and check all of the locations that he got on his ER. We're going to have all of that stuff below here. So just check him out. He's a cool cat, great guy. We really appreciate you, man. Thank you, Dr. AK. Love you, Dr. KK. See you, Scotty, and we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Peace. Good pod.
Awesome.